Hey Looky Loos, it's Ashley Quinn, and I'm here today to review Porsha's Family Matters, Season 1, Episode 4, and away we go. Now, I don't really know if that's the title or not. I can't remember what the title is, but that's what I'm going to call it because this is where we start to see everything fall apart, right? We pick up where we left off with Lauren standing up, and she's basically ready to check everybody about their behavior, okay? And at this point, Porsha pretends to be apologetic, yet at the same time, she's making demands. Auntie Liz is looking around and she's giving us her best Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost. And she lets us know that, Lena, girl, you in danger. And I can't say that she's wrong, right? Like, this is out of control already, right? So now Porsha wants everyone to go ahead and go around the table, and basically she needs to know why they're here, right? And she wants everyone to state their intent. And this is how we started off. Yeah, Auntie Darlene thought that it was appropriate to start this evening off by letting us know that she feels that her feet are beautiful and she's here to accept her feet. And I'm just like, WTF, Darlene? Like, are you drunk? She had to be, right? She's just like going on about her incredible Hulk feet and how she finds them beautiful. And I'm just like, ma'am, are you freaking kidding me? Like, we're here to solve, family problems. Like, I'm glad that you have found your Fred Flintstone feet or Barney Rubble feet attractive now, but that's not like why we're here. That's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss the family, right? And so finally she gets around to the point where she wants to be closer to her daughter Storm, and she really just wants to be able to hug her daughter, right? So that's why Auntie Darlene is here. Auntie Liz, I'm really starting to I'm falling in love with Auntie Liz every episode a little bit more, right? I thought Dennis was my absolute favorite person on the show, Dennis, Lauren, and Londi, but like Auntie Liz is very quickly surpassing Lauren and Londi, let me just tell you that. But Auntie Liz, she's kind of looking around and she's like, I don't even know why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And at first I'm like, yo, is she senile? But no, she's not even a little bit, right? She's looking at like people like Dom, the Lauren, the assistant, just looking around the table. She's like, y'all not even family. I don't know you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, what the purpose of this trip really is if we have all these extra people here. And she lets us know really that the only person that she really knows at the table, and remember, Auntie Liz is from the Hosea Williams side of the family. So the only people that she says she really knows and feels like basically a kinship to are Londi, and she's been working on her relationship with Lauren, Porsha's sister. So other than that, she's like, she really doesn't know anyone. Now, at this point, I think Mama Gina had enough, so she leaves. She says she's allergic to shellfish, and she leaves. Hey, look, even if I wasn't allergic to shellfish, I would have left too, because this is going absolutely nowhere, right? Storm pipes up and lets us know that people have problems with her, right? And Dennis says she is the problem. And I tend to believe him there. And then we kind of cut away, and Dennis is letting us know that, hey, this family is broken. And it really is. But he also lets us know that he's here to support. He's here to support Porsha. He's really there for PJ, right? To make sure that this is a smooth transition for his daughter. And he states his intentions very clearly. So Storm starts yelling at Dennis about something. And then Dennis, like, he's leaving. As he's leaving, he's telling Storm to shut the up, right? And Mama Gina wants to come back and say something, but Dennis is just like, nah, let's go, right? And I'm just looking at Storm, and I'm just like, she wants to be Porsha so bad, right? I don't know what's going on there with Storm, but Portia's over here talking about, that Dennis is the one that creates issues, and he makes problems or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's a good thing he's doing something, because he's the one he's carrying the show on his back. I'm like, does the man need a backiotomy after the season is over? Because if it wasn't for him, me personally, I wouldn't be watching the show. He's the only thing on the show that I find interesting. Well, him and his mom, and like I said, Lauren and Londi, but Lauren and Londi are only interesting basically in their relationship to Dennis. So he's really the nucleus of this show. It should have been Dennis's Family Matters or Dennis's ex-fiance's Family Matters, because like I said, this is the Dennis show, right? So we get past that, and so we get to the next day basically, or that evening, and Dennis is moving out of the room, right? He has company coming, and he's not staying in the room with Lauren and Londi anymore. And Londi is on Dennis' side with that one. She doesn't feel that he needs a babysitter either. If he wants to have somebody here, he should be able to have someone here. And she also is on his side about the thing with Storm, right? That Storm should have shut the fuck up. And she was like, I wish I would have told her to shut the fuck up, right? Because Storm is annoying, right? Storm, she's 23, so like technically she's grown, but she's still very much a child to these people at the table because she doesn't really have any life experience like that. I mean, like, you can go through a lot in 23 years. However, there are people at the table that are 40, almost 50 years old, very late 30s. They have like 20 years on you. So, you know, just sometimes it's just best to just sit back and to just listen, okay? And it's really interesting, another thing, that Lauren always refers to Dennis as her brother-in-law. She very much has affections for him, and not like boyfriend, girlfriend affection, but I mean true familial affection. She really does have a brotherly love for him. So then we cut over to Simon and Porsha in their room, and his voice is just, oh my God. I'd rather hear nails on the chalkboard. Here comes Porsha talking about, you know, I didn't expect that to happen. And here's Simon. Well, I did, you know, and he wants Dennis to stay though, right? So that they can work things out and everyone can fix their roles or whatever. So he's texting Dennis to see if they can go ahead and have breakfast together. And Porsha begins to tell us that, you know, this has to work because this is serious, because she don't play no games, right? And this ain't no game. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, Porsha Hasbro Williams, whatever you say, ma'am. So Simon finally speaks up about Porsha holding on to Dennis's things, and I'm thinking, like, damn, it's about time. Like, because me personally, I couldn't do it. Like, if I was with someone and they were like hanging on to their ex's things and like getting upset about their ex's things and getting upset about their ex and always talking about their ex, yeah, you should probably be with your ex, or you need just to see somebody, get some therapy so that you can get over your ex, so that you can heal from whatever that situation is. Because clearly, yeah, there's something's wrong here. You know, Simon also proceeds to tell Porsha that she needs to tell Mama Gina, right, to mind her fucking business, and that she needs to stay out of their business. And I'm like, what business? Detroit business? Like, are you kidding me? Simon gonna get you dragged. Listening to Simon, Portia's gonna end up getting you dragged. Tisa Tell did an interview one time with Fallon, right? And Fallon was letting us know that Simon stood by idly while she was being jumped, like assaulted by 9 women, and he didn't do anything. So if Mama Gina or whoever else was to get on your head, Simon's not going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen, Simon is not going to help you. Also, Simon is 60 years old, and, you know, there are a lot of 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds that are in shape, that are doing very well. Simon's not one of them, right? Simon has a hard time walking upstairs. Did you hear how hard he was breathing walking up those stairs? So, in that respect, yeah, I don't think, yeah, she needs to lay off of that, right? So we get to the next morning, and Simon and Dennis, they sit down and they have breakfast, and they kind of seem to be on the same page, right? Dennis lets Simon know that he has work coming to the hotel, and, you know, can he go ahead and break that to Porsha. He also wants his stuff back, right? And Simon at this point, like, trying to be like cool, and also trying to like kind of let Dennis know, like, hey, you know, you need to get your stuff. He's like, yeah, you know, I have a, you know, I had this many marriages or whatever. I got a moving company on speed dial. When it's time for somebody to go, basically I'll make sure that they got all their stuff and they're gone, right? So Dennis takes that as, oh, okay, that's very interesting. He takes that and he puts it in his back pocket for later. So, Dennis, like I said, talks to him about breaking the news to Porsha about the girlfriend coming, and Simon lets him know that he's going to do that. So we get to morning meditation, right? And Porsha doesn't show up to meditation. The only people that are there are Lauren, Dennis, Lena, Londi, and Aunt Liz is there as well, right? And I know what I said in my previous reviews about Aunt Liz, but I really, really, really like Aunt Liz, and I really, truly really, like, I apologize for anything that I said about her being a nut or being crazy. Yeah, I mean, she was a little off-putting, but it just could have been edited like that. But like I said, I apologize for anything that I said about this woman. She seems really, really awesome. And like I said, they're the only ones that are there. So, like, what's going on? Where's everybody else, right? So during this obligatory montage of what everyone is doing while they're not at the meditation and supporting Lauren, right? Portia's doing her radio show, so I guess maybe she had to work. But we have Simon wanting us to believe that he's working out. Okay, Simon, yeah, we see you, guy. And then we also have Darlene. Darlene is hung over, knocked out, face planted on her pillow, right? She is in there snoring up a storm. So at that point, we have Lauren and Londi, and Lauren and Londi are talking about the fact that Dennis has a date coming, and Lauren really feels like they need to let Porsha know, but Londi doesn't feel like she needs to know. Let's just go on this little trip that we have, and we'll deal with it when we deal with it, right? So we find out that they're going to a cenote, which is like a sunken, like, water hole, right? And Dennis can't bring his date. He didn't want to, even though it is her birthday. She's going to still be staying at the hotel. When they're on the bus, like, as much as Storm looks up to Porsha be playing her to the left, right? So when Storm said something about, like, we're going to a C note or whatever, and Portia's like, you know, what's that? Oh, I thought she was talking about money or something like that. And she just, you know, instead of just letting her know, like, you are old enough basically to be her mom, Porsha, instead of just being like, hey, that's not what it's called this, and this is what it is. She took that moment to try to, like, make a joke of the girl, you know. So we kind of see where that's going on, but they're going to be doing some team building exercises. And they're on the bus though, Auntie Liz asks a very important question of Simon, right? You know, she's like, you know, you're getting to meet our family, so when do we get to meet the women in your family? And it got really quiet after that. So we get off the bus, we're heading down, getting ready to go to the actual cenote where the water and everything is, and the tour guide lets them know that a long time ago, back when there were still, you know, tribes living in the rainforest and living in this area, that they actually used to perform sacrifices down here, and that there are still bones left that people find to this day of the people that were sacrificed during those times. And at this point, somebody's like, so we're diving into a graveyard? And the look on everyone's face was priceless. So Lauren is leading the group in meditation before they actually, I guess they're going to get in the water. But before they do that, everybody's going to kind of talk about what they're feeling, what they've learned, kind of what's going on with them, right? And what they've been meditating on and wanting to release. So Darlene, you know, like, I have very mixed feelings about Darlene. Like, yeah, I'm happy that she came on the trip, because, like, without her, there would be far too little crazy moments, right? Like, Darlene is really, like, giving us 5150 to the max. So Darlene, what she really wants is, like she said earlier, she wants to hug her daughter Storm, right? So, like, she's gearing up to hug her daughter Storm, and they're getting ready to hug, and they're like this close, and then all of a sudden Darlene just freaking loses her mind. Did y'all see that? What was that? I know y'all saw that, right? What is wrong with this woman? Like, oh my God, this chick is nuts, yo. But at least she gets to hug her daughter, right? And she doesn't go into, like, a conniption fit again, right? So Auntie Liz, man, you know, she tells the story of growing up and how she thought that marching and getting arrested was just normal for every 9-year-old. You know, she was very much a part of the civil rights movement, but she also very much saw the horrors of the civil rights movement, and she just really wants to be able to release those ghosts, release those inner demons that she's carrying, the things that she's seen. Like, I can't even imagine her experiences coming up and during that time. You know, I'm on the West Coast, I'm in California, I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm not saying that like there's not like racist people or anything, but what I am saying is that I know for a fact I have never experienced racism like she would have experienced it in the 50s and in the 60s, in the deep South, in Georgia, and so just listening to her story, it was very deep, and I do wish her well with coming to terms with those things, and being able to not get over them, because some things you don't get over, but I really do wish her peace in her journey, and opening up. We also have Mama Gina, and Mama Gina is really trying to mend fences, right? Like, all BS aside, right? Like, she's really trying to mend fences, and she's honestly saying she wants to learn how to forgive, and she also wants to be forgiven for the parts that she's played in situations. And so I really appreciated hearing that, and you can tell that Mama Gina is there trying to make progress, right? Dennis as well, he's letting us know that he's really proud of everybody, that he wants to let go of the things that are not important, right? If it doesn't have anything to do with himself or his daughter, he feels like it's no longer his business, and it's no longer his place to speak on those things or even to give energy to those things. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like I said, everybody is really giving these impassioned speeches, these deep speeches, these thoughts, these positive vibes, right? And then here comes Porsha, right? And she just has to kill the mood. Like Kendrick Lamar, bitch, don't kill my vibe. He must know Porsha, right? Like, that song has to be about her. Because like I said, everything was positive. And here she comes talking about the lunch with Mama Gina and how it made her feel this. And she's not ready to forgive. And she's not ready to move on. And she feels a certain way. And it's like, come on, man. Like, really, dude? Like, swear. From season 1, when she came on Real Housewives of Atlanta, this woman has shown no emotional growth, right? No maturity, nothing. Like, she just really, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but like, she's just like, I'm not ready to make up with her, right? Okay, whatever. So now it's Lauren's turn, right? And Lauren tells us about how she somewhat has some feelings of resentment for Porsha, because she feels like Porsha undervalued her in their working relationship when they were working together. And of course, Porsha has to make it about herself, right? And to play victim. And one thing that Lena points out is that while Lauren is saying these things about how she feels about how her relationship with Porsha, and how she wants to make that right, and how she wants for them to come to a new place, together, Lena notices that Lauren's toes are like curled up in the sand, like very anxious, very much so that walking on eggshells, because for whatever reason, everyone is afraid to offend Porsha or upset Porsha or to get on Porsha's bad side, right? But as Lauren is saying this, like I said, Porsha takes that opportunity to play the victim, and she's like, oh no, Lauren was just unhappy with her own life. It didn't have anything to do with me. But they cut away to the scene where Lauren is like, I am unhappy with my life because I don't like working for you. She doesn't like working for you. She didn't like being around you. That's why she was unhappy in her own life. Like, girl, come on. If you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story, right? So, other than that, basically she's heard nothing that Lauren said. And like I said, the way Porsha behaves and the way Porsha responds to things, just like I said, by Lauren, the lady could tell by Lauren's toes in the sand that it's just cringeworthy at this point. Because it's almost like everybody's still handling Porsha like she's a naive, early 20-something, ingenue, fresh on the scene. She's 40 years old. She's a 40-year-old woman. It's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Her behavior is not acceptable. So now it's time for another dinner, right? Because these dinners go so very well. Dennis is not at the dinner with everyone else. And Dom is asking all these questions like being nosy. Somebody must have put a bug in his ear or dropped a battery in his back to ask Mama Gina where Dennis was. So Mama Gina has no problem letting everybody know that Dennis will not be joining them. He has other plans for dinner, right? Mama Gina was content to leave it at that. But no, here comes Dom asking more, like what, like a date? Yeah. has a friend that's here. I was like, oh, with a woman? Yeah, have we known Dennis to be LGBTQ? Like, of course, with the woman, right? So that's where that starts. But before, Lauren could see this coming, right? So Lauren has already pulled Porsha to the side, and now Lauren has to break the news to Porsha, and it was absolutely priceless. I tell you, priceless. Ooh, awkward much? So Porsha is hotter than a blue flame, right? You can see it all over her face. She did not see that coming, but at the same time, why does she care? Like, you're here with your whole fiance, right? This is all about you guys blending the family. He's not asking to bring this woman on the family gatherings. He's not bringing her around your daughter. He's just here on his free time. He got some work in town, as he said, Man, if I was Simon, I wouldn't be okay with it, because, like, it really doesn't matter. Then we cut to another thing that I noticed too that was really interesting, because everybody's Simon and Porsha are like, Mama Gina need to stay out the business and da da da. But at the same time, did you notice that Porsha is texting Mama Gina, asking Mama Gina about Dennis? So if you want her to stay out of your business, then maybe you shouldn't bring her into your business. I mean, like, if somebody's texting me and asking me questions about another person and about their relationship or whatever, then I'm going to feel like, okay, well, you've involved me. Like, I'm involved. And I'm pretty sure this is not the first time that she's done this, because, like she said before, she wants Mama Gina to be upset with Dennis because she's upset with Dennis. And I'm feeling like, because when she talked to her about them breaking up or whatever went down between them, Mama Gina wasn't on her side like that, because that's still gonna, at the end of the day, that's still her son. That's still her child. The same way Miss Diane supports you in all your bullshit, Dennis's mom supports him, So, once again, Auntie Liz, she's on point again at dinner with the conversation. And here comes Storm. And Storm is talking about her abuse and things that have happened to her. And, I'm very sorry to hear that for her as a young lady. And so Londi asked her about being defensive and being aggressive. And when Londi asked her that, so to me, I took that as Londi was trying to get to the point, like, do you think that being abused by someone may have caused you, because sometimes when you're abused as a defense mechanism or a way to protect yourself, you learn to not necessarily become abusive back, but there are some toxic traits that you pick up for survival, and you have to unlearn those when you're around the people that are not the ones harming you, right? So those are things that you have to unlearn. And so I think that's what Londi was getting at, is like your aggression and this newfound buck up, is that a result of being abused? But Storm, she's definitely Porsha's cousin. She's definitely Porsha's cousin on her mom's side, right? Because she took it completely wrong, and she just flies off the handle, right? And at this point, Lauren just wants everybody to make peace, and Lauren asked Londi to apologize. Londi's like, I'm not apologizing. She misunderstood. She's flying off the handle. I'm not apologizing for what I said. I didn't say anything wrong. And I agree with Londi. She didn't. And at this point, as they're all arguing again at yet another dinner, I'm thinking to myself, like, Dennis was smart to go on a date and get away from these people. Smart man. Smart man. I'm sure he's having the time of his life. And so for now, though, Londi and Storm, they call a truce. And this leaves us set up for the big situation that will start to go down next week. And like I said, this episode is really that and away we go type of situation. Thank you guys for watching with me and listening to my recap, listening to my review. If you enjoyed what you watched, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you had something that you saw that you wanted to discuss, maybe you saw things a little bit different than I did, please leave it in the comments and we can go ahead and continue the conversation there. Until next time, Looky Loos, thanks for stopping by. I'm Ashley Quinn. Bye.